On mobile Twitter, they've just actually added the ability for us to add image descriptions, which is fantastic. I'm so excited about this. It's a baby step forward, so you can actually only do this on your mobile device. You can only do it on iOS. You can only do it on Android. But they are, I've heard lots and lots of rumors that this has been so overwhelmingly embraced by people that they really want to make it open to their web platform as well as their Mac and PC platforms for Twitter. So these are the instructions. I have an Android phone, so I'm not going to go over the iOS how to do this, how to turn on the image descriptions, the ability to add image descriptions. I'm going to go through the Android one, but it's very similar in iOS. But if you have any questions about that, I'm sure Louise can can help you through turning on image descriptions on your iOS device. So the first thing you do is you open your Twitter app on your phone, and this is just vanilla Twitter. It's not any of the, like it's not TweetDeck, it's not, I think, Tweetbot. I mean, there's a ton of different Twitter apps. This is just plain vanilla Twitter. And you see the little dot, dot, dot at the side. You tap that, and then you go down to your settings, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list in your settings, and you have to have the most recent version, so above 5.1. And then there's this new little fancy thing called accessibility. And when you tap on that, it asks you, so this is going to affect all of your Twitter accounts on your device. So if you have multiple Twitter accounts, you only have to do it once and it'll affect all of your accounts. And again, this is only for mobile, so you want to compose image descriptions. The default is that it's on. I'd love it if they change it to the default being, or the default is it's off. You have to turn it on, but hopefully that'll change soon. And then you just turn it on. So then when you go to compose a tweet, it has this add description thing that you can tap on. So if you tap on that, it says, describe this image for the visually impaired. So that's great. I'd love it if Twitter opened this up so that that image description could benefit all sorts of users, not just the visually impaired. But again, baby steps. This is a step in the right direction. So you add your image description. So I have a lot of text in that image. So I want to put that text in my image description. And then I click apply. I tap apply, and then there's my image description. So it doesn't actually show up on the tweet that I send out, but it will be available to users that use a screen reader. Now, if I'm using regular Twitter, that's a different story. So if I'm using regular Twitter and I wanted to use that image, and it's a quote from Stella Young. If you're not familiar with Stella Young, she's awesome. She's a disability advocate. She is someone with a disability herself. And she has this great TED Talk and this great quote from the TED Talk. So I found that. I got the quote. I put it on an image. And now I want to tweet that out. So I add my image. There we go. But I know that I can't actually, people who, this doesn't actually have an image description with it. So I have a couple of options. I can add the text right here. So I can actually, and actually I wrote it, I have a little cheat sheet just so I wouldn't waste your time typing all of that out. So that's the quote from the image. And it's written by Stella Young, so I'll do @Stella. There she is. And then maybe and actually I only have 3 characters left, so it doesn't leave, sometimes our quotes on the images don't leave a whole lot of room for extra characters. So one of the things that we could do is I could actually link right to this page. It's not ideal, it's not the most accessible, but I could instead link to the page where the quote lives. Yeah, the image does take up some of the character limit. So yeah, that's true. Or I could link to the TED Talk where she actually says that quote. And if you don't know, all of TED Talks are captioned, and many in multiple languages. And they also have options for closed captions and transcripts, which are really great if you just want to see what was said. You remember they said something, but you don't necessarily remember the exact quote. You can always go back and check the transcript. It's great. So anyway, I would like to tweet this out actually using my mobile device because I want to say all of this other great stuff instead, and have the alt text be the description of the image. So instead, what we will do is we'll talk about, so what if we wanted to just write a regular tweet? So I have, let's see, thanks to my Inclusive Learning Network friends for inviting me to talk about. And if you don't know, hashtag A11Y is the official hashtag for accessibility. I know we were talking about that before folks came in this evening. It's called A11Y because there are 11 characters between A and Y in the word accessibility. And this is a much characterless way of saying accessibility. There's some great resources in this hashtag, by the way. And again, the camel case, social media, and I'm going to break my own rule here about not using acronyms, because the official hashtag for Global Accessibility Awareness Day is GAAD. Now I could type out Global Accessibility Awareness Day. Yep, I do have enough characters, and if I spell accessibility right, that would be awesome. So if I do that, I can do the hashtag and spell out the acronym, which is awesome too. And I can tweet that right out.